Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie and I create sea glass mosaics, and today I'm going to talk to you about the piece I'm currently working on. I call it Out on the Water. So the sea glass piece I wanted to talk to you today is called Out on the Water, and this is the one I'm currently working on. It's not finished. As you can see, I've got the boat and the water and the background, the land off in the background done, but the sky isn't finished. My inspiration for this sea glass mosaic is this photo, which is a picture I took one time when I was out in a kayak on the water, and I just love the view of the water and the sky and the front of the boat. So the first thing I did was I got this frame. This frame that I'm using is an old frame from a window in a farmhouse in Nova Scotia, and it was in really bad shape. So I cleaned it up, did a lot of cleaning, painted it, made it all nice and white. The frame itself is 31.5 inches wide and 24 inches high, and the glass inside the frame, because that's the part that I do the mosaic on, that's my actual canvas, that is 27 inches wide and 19.5 inches high. So I cut a piece of paper the size of the glass, and this is what I used for my pattern. Very simple line drawing. I've got the simple outline of the boat, a little bit of background for the trees, and you can see that the line off to the left there is the horizon line. It's really important for the horizon line to be straight because that's basically the only true straight line that exists in nature. And not very complicated pattern, that's it. And then of course I taped that to the back, and then I followed the lines of the pattern to create the lines of the boat. And you'll see I used brown sea glass for the boat and for the land, green sea glass for the water. A few details about this. You'll notice this piece of driftwood that I had. It's an incredible piece of driftwood that I found down on the beach, and I felt like it looked like a paddle. So that's the paddle lying on the boat. A few things I would point out for you for some details. If you notice all around here on the boat, I use the tops of beer bottles. So they have that ridge, and it creates a ridge all around the edge of the boat. So the gunnels of the boat look very much like gunnels. And I used a round piece from the top of the beer bottle at the top, which would be the bow, and that's just to give it a little bit of definition. And along here I put white sea glass on edge to create the line, so it sort of shows the top front part of the boat. Just a little bit of a picture there, because sometimes boats have patterns on them. And here I used a couple of round shells, and I plan to find a rope. I only use materials that I find at the beach, and I don't have a piece of rope from the beach, so I'm going to look for a piece of rope when I'm back at the beach that I would string through here, here, and here, because a lot of times boats have strings on them. So I'm still missing that piece. I'll find it. And in the water, a few things to note. I use these round shells in a few different places, and that represents the whitecaps out on the water. I thought they're kind of neat. They're nice softened shells that are the leftovers. And then I created a few sailboats. So in this sailboat, I have a beautiful blue piece for the bottom of the sail, and the sail itself is a shell, which is really kind of a funky shell because it has a little bit of a curve in it. And over here towards the middle, this is actually a buoy. Off in a distance, you'll often see buoys out on the water. And the top of the buoy, I used a really beautiful aqua piece, which makes a neat light at the top of the buoy. And then I have a couple of pieces over here of pottery, another blue piece. And one other point I would tell you about the water, if you use really big pieces at the bottom and small pieces at the top, it gives you that feeling of the water fading off into the distance, because that's what things look like. They're smaller off in the distance. So that's a thing I would point out to you. So that's where I'm at right now with this piece. So what I have left to do is the sky. And I've started a little bit up in this corner. I'm using white in the sky. So what I've done is I have, I guess you can see this, I have gathered up a bunch of my white sea glass. Might have to set this down for a minute. And I also have some aqua. I have my aqua sea glass, and I have a jar of white milk sea glass, and I've got a couple of extra jars of white sitting aside in case I run out of white here or I'm not finding the right pieces that I want. I've got lots of white to pick from, because I find in doing the sky I really like using a combination of white and aqua. I usually put some pottery into my dish of pottery. Is not here at the moment. I don't know where I put it. I'll have to go get it. And then when I'm making the sky, it just gives it a lot more interest than if it's all white. Have some white pottery in there, some white milk glass, and some aqua, and it really adds a lot of interest to the sky. So I'm going to finish that up, and then I'll show you the finished piece. It'll take me a while to get the sky finished, but I'll get back to you. So I finished my piece, my sea glass mosaic, out on the water. Since the last time I've seen you, you can see how I finished the sky. I put a bird in the sky here. It looks, I think it's a heron because it's got the big wings, so that's the way my vision is. I put in some clouds and a few wispy clouds over there as well. Don't need my hair in there. And I've also I put a piece of twine in here to represent the rope, but I didn't get that at the beach. So I'm still in search of a piece of rope that I actually find at the beach. Hopefully I'll find one this summer. And I've also added a little nunchuck down here, just to add a few little details. So it's all finished. You'll notice that if you look closely, you can still see where some of the glue hasn't totally turned clear yet. But it will. It just takes some time because I've just finished this in the last few days. And so thanks a lot for joining me, and I hope that you will learn a lot about making your own sea glass mosaic from watching my process that I use. And you can check out my website and hopefully subscribe to my channel and see my other videos. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.